Ever heard someone say insurance and instantly thought, ugh, boring? We get it. It's not exactly the most thrilling topic at a party. But here's the thing, property insurance is crazy important. Think of it like a safety net for your stuff. Life throws curveballs like a hailstorm that turns your car into a golf ball, or a kitchen fire that gives your microwave a whole new meaning. Insurance is there to help you bounce back from those unexpected events, financially speaking. Nobody wants to pay out of pocket to replace all their stuff after a disaster. That's where insurance swoops in to save the day, and your wallet. So, buckle up and let's break down this whole insurance thing in a way that even your easily distracted cousin can understand. We're talking about real-life situations, practical tips, and maybe even a few laughs along the way. Because who says insurance has to be dull? By the end of this, you'll be the most insurance-savvy person at the water cooler. And hey, if a disaster strikes, you'll be thanking us for it. And maybe even high-fiving your insurance agent. All right, let's talk about the good stuff, your stuff. When it comes to property insurance, you're not just protecting your home. We're talking about all the cool things inside too. Think furniture, appliances, clothes, electronics, that vintage vinyl collection you've been building since high school. The list goes on. Basically, if a thief broke in and tried to pawn it all, you'd want to be covered. Property insurance typically covers two main categories, real property and personal property. Real property is the stuff that's attached to the ground, like your house, garage, or that fancy gazebo you built last summer. Personal property is everything else that you can move around. Furniture, clothes, electronics, even your grandma's antique tea set. You know, the one you're terrified of breaking. Now here's where things get a little tricky. Not everything is created equal in the eyes of insurance. Standard policies usually have limits on how much they'll pay out for certain items, like jewelry, art, or expensive electronics. So, if you got valuables that go beyond the standard coverage, you might want to consider adding extra insurance, called scheduled personal property coverage. It's like giving your prized possessions their own little VIP insurance policy. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, property loss. Nobody likes to think about bad things happening to their stuff, but unfortunately it's a reality we have to prepare for. The good news is that property insurance covers a wide range of unfortunate events, from the dramatic to the just plain annoying. We're talking fires, floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, the kind of stuff that makes the news. But it's not all doom and gloom. Property insurance also covers more common and less terrifying incidents like theft, vandalism, or that time your toilet decided to become a miniature fountain. Remember that time your basement flooded because you forgot to close the window during a rainstorm? Yeah, insurance can help with that too, but here's the catch. Not all types of damage are created equal. Insurance policies have this thing called covered perils, which is a fancy way of saying the specific events or causes of damage that they'll cover. It's like a VIP list of unfortunate events that your insurance agrees to help you out with. So, before you assume you're covered for everything under the sun, it's crucial to read your policy carefully. We know reading isn't the most exciting, but trust us on this one. Now, let's talk about how your insurance company decides how much to pay you when you file a claim. This is where things can get a little confusing, but don't worry, we're going to break it down for you. There are two main ways to value your stuff: actual cash value, ACV, and replacement cost, RC. ACV is like buying used stuff. It takes into account the depreciation of your items over time. So if your 5-year-old couch gets toasted in a fire, the insurance company will give you enough money to buy a similar couch, but it might be a gently used model from a thrift store. Think of it like trading in your old car. You're not getting brand new showroom value. On the other hand, replacement cost is like hitting the jackpot. Well, at least in insurance terms. With RC coverage, the insurance company will give you enough money to buy a brand spanking new couch. Same make and model, no thrift store required. It's like upgrading your phone. You get to enjoy that new phone smell, even if you're replacing one that you've had for a while. Of course, RC coverage usually costs a bit more, but it might be worth it if you want to avoid downgrading your stuff after a loss. Okay, here's a word you might not be too fond of. Deductibles. Remember how we said insurance is like a safety net? Well, the deductible is the little bit you have to pay before the net fully catches you. It's the amount you agree to shell out of your own pocket before the insurance company steps in to cover the rest. Think of it like this. You have a $1,000 deductible, and a tree decides to use your roof as a landing pad during a storm, causing $5,000 in damage. You'll pay the first $1,000 and your insurance will cover the remaining $4,000. Deductibles can range from a few $100s to several thousand. And generally, the lower your deductible, the higher your premium, the amount you pay for insurance. It's a balancing act, figuring out how much risk you're comfortable taking on yourself versus how much you're willing to pay for peace of mind. But hey, at least you'll have a good story to tell at parties. You wouldn't believe what happened to my roof. Just make sure you stock up on those party snacks to distract from the deductible talk. Let's bring this whole insurance thing to life, shall we? Imagine this. You're at work, dreaming of that delicious leftover pizza in your fridge. Suddenly your phone buzzes. It's your neighbor, and they're telling you that a pipe burst in your kitchen, and now your apartment looks like a water park. Not exactly the kind of excitement you were hoping for, right? But wait, you have property insurance. You call your insurance company, file a claim, and they send out an adjuster, basically an insurance detective, to assess the damage. They determine that the burst pipe caused $10,000 in damage to your flooring, cabinets, and appliances. Good thing you had that pizza delivery app on speed dial, because you're going to be eating out for a while. Another example. Let's say your beloved bicycle, which you use to conquer those weekend trails, gets stolen from your garage. With property insurance, you can file a claim for the stolen bike, and depending on your coverage, they'll either reimburse you for its current value or give you enough to buy a shiny new one. So you can get back to enjoying those scenic bike rides in no time. We've talked about covered perils, but let's dive into some specific examples to give you a better idea of what to expect. Fire, lightning, windstorms, hail. These are like the A-list celebrities of covered perils. Most standard property insurance policies will cover damage caused by these events. They're the heavy hitters, the ones that can cause some serious damage and come with equally serious insurance claims. But what about those less glamorous everyday perils? Things like theft, vandalism, or that unfortunate incident where your kid's baseball met your living room window. Don't worry, most standard policies cover these too. Think of it like this. Your insurance is there for the big, scary stuff, but it also has your back for the smaller hiccups that life throws your way. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. Certain perils might require additional coverage. For instance, if you live in an area prone to floods or earthquakes, you'll likely need to purchase separate flood insurance or earthquake insurance. These are like the VIP sections of the insurance world. They offer specialized protection for specific risks. It's all about knowing your risks and making sure you have the right coverage to match. Ever wonder why insurance premiums seem to have a mind of their own? Well, one of the biggest factors that insurance companies consider is location, location, location. It's not just about your zip code, it's about the neighborhood you live in and the risks associated with that area. Think about it. If you live on the coast in hurricane territory, your premium is likely to be higher than someone who lives in a landlocked state with calm weather. Insurance companies use all sorts of data and algorithms to assess risk, and location plays a starring role in those calculations. They're basically playing a giant game of risk assessment, and your location is one of the most important cards in the deck. But it's not just about natural disasters. Crime rates, the quality of local fire departments, even the distance to the nearest fire hydrant can all influence your premium. It's like a giant puzzle, and insurance companies are trying to put all the pieces together to get a clear picture of the risks associated with insuring you and your property. So next time you're comparing insurance quotes, remember that location isn't just about finding a place with good schools and a short commute. It's also about finding a spot that won't break the bank on insurance premiums. We've covered the basics of property insurance, but here's a little secret. You can actually customize your policy with additional coverages, like toppings on your favorite ice cream sundae. These extras can provide an extra layer of protection for those just-in-case moments that life throws your way. Think of it like building your own insurance fortress, brick by brick, until you feel completely secure. One popular add-on is called water backup coverage. This comes in handy if your sewer line decides to have a bad day and backs up into your home. Yuck. Standard policies usually don't cover this type of damage, so having this extra coverage can save you a major headache and a lot of money down the line. It's like having a plumber on speed dial, but without the hefty hourly rate. Another handy extra is personal injury liability coverage. This protects you if someone gets injured on your property and decides to sue. It covers things like medical expenses, legal fees, and even lost wages. Think of it like a legal safety net, just in case someone takes a tumble on your icy sidewalk or trips over your kids' toys. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? Here's a little secret: insurance companies don't always offer the same prices for the same coverage. Just like you wouldn't buy the first car you see without shopping around, you shouldn't settle for the first insurance quote you receive. Take some time to compare rates from different companies, see what discounts they offer, and find a policy that fits your budget and your coverage needs. Think of it like online shopping, but instead of browsing for shoes or gadgets, you're hunting for the best deal on insurance. You can use online comparison websites to get quotes from multiple insurers side by side, or you can go old school and call each company directly. It might seem like a hassle, but trust us, your wallet will thank you. Remember, insurance is all about finding the right balance between protection and affordability. Don't be afraid to ask questions, negotiate rates, and explore your options. And hey, if you can save a few bucks in the process, that's just icing on the cake. After all, who doesn't love a good deal? We know, reading insurance policies isn't exactly as thrilling as watching your favorite movie. But trust us on this one. It's crucial to read the fine print. Insurance policies are full of legal jargon and technical terms that can be confusing, but understanding what you're signing up for is essential. Pay attention to things like coverage limits, exclusions, and deductibles. These details outline what your policy covers, what it doesn't cover, and how much you'll have to pay out of pocket if you need to file a claim. Think of it like reading the instructions before assembling furniture. You don't want to end up with extra parts or a wobbly table. Don't be afraid to ask your insurance agent or company representative to clarify anything you don't understand. They're there to help you make sense of the policy and choose the right coverage for your needs. Remember, knowledge is power. And when it comes to insurance, being informed can save you a lot of headaches and potentially a lot of money down the line. Congratulations! You've made it through our crash course on property insurance. You now know the ins and outs of coverage, perils, deductibles, and all those other insurance-y terms that used to make your head spin. You're officially an insurance pro, or at least you can sound like one at parties. Remember, property insurance is there to protect you from the unexpected. It's like a financial safety net that helps you bounce back from those "oh no" moments that life throws your way. So, rest easy knowing that you're covered, and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with having a solid insurance policy in place. Now, go forth and spread the insurance wisdom. Share your newfound knowledge with your friends, family, and even that neighbor who always forgets to bring in their trash cans during a storm. Let's face it, everyone could use a little more insurance savvy in their lives. And hey, if you ever have any questions, you know where to find us.